Hello, hello, and welcome back to Space Engineers on the Xbox, on the Series X, on the beta. And we're going to dive into the event controller today for a quick tutorial to replace my original tutorial that I did a while ago now on a automated airlock. They are now really simple to put together. And a few people have asked me, can you now use the event controller to make a decent airlock? The answer is, well, yes, you can. And it is pretty simple to set up. So we're going to nip over here to the red ship and use that as an example of how to put it onto a ship like this. First things first, we're going to do a few things. We're going to use some blocks that are already there, and we're going to get rid of some blocks. Now we're playing in creative, so we can use the left trigger to delete some blocks on this ship that we won't need. And for a start, we won't need that, and we won't need that, or that, or that, or that. And if you follow along with my tutorial to do this, you're also going to need let's see, do this. So we want to create a closed oxygen system before we do anything else. But also, if you're going to use this ship at any point, you want to make sure you can still make it function. And so we're going to put back this kind of how we found it, sort of. Like so. Now we're going to create the closed oxygen system, and we're going to just use our curvy conveyor tube again, and we're going to slap in our oxygen tank. Like so. I always prefer to put it there. And with that closed oxygen system in place, we're going to do another thing. We're going to, first of all, rename some blocks. So starting with this door, we're going to go into its control panel, and we're going to call it door AL. AL outer. And we're going to leave it as it is and not touch it. We're going to come over to the air vent, and we're going to call this air vent AL. And we're going to set that to depressurize. We're going to look at this door, and we're not going to press anything on it. We're going to hold both bumpers, tap the two squares, open the control panel, and we're going to toggle that block off by pressing X. We're also going to rename it door AL inner. So now we have our setup for our new funky airlock. into this gap, which I have created specifically, we're going to put our new shiny beta and eventually retail block. The event controller. This block is a powerhouse of a block, and it has lots of functions, and it could do with a few more. There are a bunch of functions we'd like to see to enable us to play around with things. Yes, there are ways of doing it by making the block talk to pistons and so on, as somebody said, but why do that? The idea is to give everybody a chance to have all of these features onto a block and not over-engineer it. Clang loves pistons. And if you've got a bunch of pistons on a mobile ship, trust me, eventually things are going to clang out. This, however, is the event controller. So what we want to do here is we want to go down to it and look at door opened. While still on this screen, we want to come down and we want to find our doors on here and select door AL outer. Move down again. Find door AL inner. Hold down the right bumper and press A again. Pull down on the left stick and press add blocks. We now have the outer and the inner door being read by the event controller. Next thing that you want to do is set the event controller up. Now, there's a couple of things to know about the Xbox version of this game. We don't at the moment have a way of selecting the second action slot. You'll see on the toolbar here we have 1 or 2. It will always put the first thing you click into the first action slot. So we can use a dummy block, and it can be anything because it's not going to do anything in this case. We're going to put the interior light 11, and we're just going to tell it to toggle it on. But what we want to do now is put our inner door into the second slot and toggle block on off. Then we want to tap the right trigger because there are 9 toolbars worth of actions for both true and false on the event controller. The first slot is the action that will happen if true. The second slot is the action that will happen if false. Do one thing, do another. Same deal. This time we want to put this light block in, but this time we want to find our outer door. So it's probably moved around the list because I've renamed it. There it is at the top. So door outer, and we want our outer door toggle on off on the second slot. Third slot, again, choose your dummy block, toggle block on, and then choose your vent. And we want to pick the vent that we called L up, and we want to toggle its depressurized state on off. And we're almost done. So we come out of that, and we're going to go over to our vent here. And we're going to go for the actions of pressurize and depressurize. So first slot, we want to open our inner door, and the second slot, we want to open our outer door. Now, if we've done everything correctly, that's off, that's open, that's depressurized. we want to toggle the state on this door. This will repressurize the room. And the airlock door will open into the ship. Reverse. Airlock door opens into space. And that's how easy it is to set up the event controller to create an airlock that opens and closes doors, locks them, so you can't accidentally vent the space, and can handle multiple doors, can handle multiple airlocks. If you build this system on a ship, you can have one of these in every airlock. Just remember, you have to have a closed oxygen system for it to work, really, because it's easier to depressurize and repressurize a room using a closed oxygen system, because you're always swapping oxygen in and out. And there it is. That is your bite-sized tutorial on how to make an airlock using the new event controller block. Like I said, this block is genius. It's extremely powerful and extremely useful. And remember, you can cycle through the actions when you're selecting blocks by tapping the left and right bumper. You can have up to 9 actions in slot 1 and slot 2. So you can set 9 things off using one event controller. Very handy if you want to do a bunch of things if a connector is connected. Rather than having to put multiple event controllers on the same thing, you can just have one event controller and control 9 action 1s and 9 action 2s. There it is, though. Hopefully, this has been of some use, and stay tuned for even more Space Engineers content. As always, stay safe. Take care, have fun, enjoy the game. Loads more to come from me. Thank you for your support. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We are getting close to 2,000 subscribers. And, well, watch the showcase of the all-terrain armoured transport and so on and so forth. Bye for now.